Okay, welcome back to another video. So today I have something special for you guys. Part 3 to what if Deku had a awakened pyrokinesis quirk. Now, for those of you who skipped part 1 and 2, please go watch it. Don't just jump directly to this video. I haven't checked the number of subscribers yet, so if I hit 2.5k, then, I will do another video. But without further ado, here we are. Oh, yeah. So, there is someone who, is helping me out. His name is Kobe that's his Discord name, Kobe. And he edited this. This is what pyrokinesis Deku looks like. Basically, it is, he has the features of Hisashi. Now, if he says yes, then I will ask him if he could help me with more stuff like this, and I'll also try to start editing, better, or really start editing and stuff like that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So we last left off on Deku Giga impacting the level 5 robot. No, wait, I think it was the level 0. It was one of the two. And he completely annihilated it. But he couldn't, do his quirk for it. He could only do it up to level 3. So, Deku, being the mad lad that he is, just dips. He heads home. Even at level 3 speed, he's still fast. Oh, and then that's something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. So for those of you who are saying that I should do what if Deku had shows powers from Fire Force, two problems. One, someone's already doing that, so I'd have to ask them for permission. Second problem is this Deku's already technically has the exact same powers from Fire Force, Todoroki, Endeavor. Every fire user, he has their powers. So yeah, let's get back into it. Sorry. So we last left off. Well, yeah. Sorry. So as Deku arrives home, he begins to train with his quirk again. He trains on mastering the electricity portion. There will come a lot of, evolutionary basis of his ability. He's already able to, let it blast at a sun scorching heat, but he's trying to get it hotter to where he can condense it to one point of his finger and let it out like a laser. And he succeeds. He's also training his electricity portion to be able to use up to level 7 if he uses it. Because you know how it restricts his abilities. And yeah. So, therefore, Deku is technically overpowered. So we get to the point where Deku gets the letter in the mail. His mom is all excited and everything. And she states that, Deku, you have a letter in the mail. And he says, oh, wait, really? So then I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. That was my siblings playing in the background. Um, but yeah. So Deku would, get excited about this. Because he knows he got in. He just doesn't know how he placed. And he then gets to the, he opens it, and he first reads the letters. Congratulations, Izuku Midoriya. You have been selected to participate in the My Hero Academia's, the UA's Hero Course. And he's excited. He's fanatic, jumping around saying, woohoo! And that's when he creates a new move on accident. This move allows him to focus his flame energy at the soles of his feet, and you move with explosive power that he already has before. Now, before he would, channel it all throughout his body, so it would seem like he's leaving a trail of smoke behind, and he's going at like the speed of that flame. But with this, he's channeling it under his foot and making an explosion, technically like similar to Bakugo's. So therefore, he's moving at speeds unseeable to even Aizawa. He's like a rocket. And he calls this Rocket Man. I know, I'm taking that from Luffy. Luffy and that one guy, but Rocket Man, that's what he calls it. So, with the new move Rocket Man, he then goes to see the hologram. The hologram states, young Midoriya, congratulations. You have been, accepted into the Hero Course. Also, we want to award you because you have not only shattered every record that we have, but you also saved a young lady. Her name was Mina Ashida. And Deku's like, whoa, wait, really? I saved her? Oh yeah, that's right, that pink girl. And he's all, just chillaxed about it, because he knows it was the right thing to do. And that's when they tell him about hero points, and that nobody knew, and he had the highest even in that category. He broke the records. And that robot was not meant to step out. It was never meant to be shown to the public eye. So, Deku is just like, okay then. So before school starts, he takes a couple days, and he goes to practice his quark. He's perfecting this new move. This new technique he has. It's called Rocket Man. And this isn't necessarily even just a technique. This is up to the level of a fighting style. So, to be honest with you, Deku has so many fighting styles at this point that he's seen as a monster. Oh, and what it looks like in this picture is Deku's eyes being like a dragon's, but it's not. It's his him using the yellow element fire on his eyes to enhance his vision. He just basically cracked that stage. He doesn't know the full implements of it, that if he, I'm not gonna leak anything, but So, we get to the first day of school, and Deku is just, he's not nervous, he's more calm-headed. He has a Dobby personality with this. A Dobby mixed in with, Dobby mixed in with Deku, technically. So that's how he is. And he just opens the door without even thinking anything about it. So he then begins to, state to himself that the room is pretty big, isn't it? Well, it has to house all those heroes, those future hero candidates, right? And that's when he immediately sees Bakugo getting chewed out by Ida. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, sorry. He sees Bakugo getting chewed out by Ida. Now, Ida then walks up to Deku and states, wow, You are that kid. You're that kid, aren't you? The one with that explosive firepower? That is amazing. I don't know. I don't know how to, express my admiration due to the fact that you are a better student than I. You even found out about the hero points that none of us knew about. Therefore, I give you my respect. And Ida then bows to Deku. Deku then just shrugs his shoulder and says, "Hey, sorry, man. I honestly didn't know about hero points. So you can go ahead and stand up now." And immediately Ida just bounces back up and says, "Oh, you didn't know about hero points? Well, you still gained the highest out of all of us." That's when saying this, everyone's eyes just immediately turn to Deku. Even the pink-haired girl. Deku then, the pink girl. Deku notices her and then he smiles. She then begins to slowly blush. So, yeah. As she's blushing, Kirishima sees this. And he thinks, wow, this guy's so manly. He got all those points. He's clearly the strongest in the class. And everyone is just wondering, what's his quirk? Just then, Uraraka also walks in. And she then smiles to Deku. Now, this is when Aizawa gets up from behind the podium, and Bakugo just blasts, "Who the hell is this pervert?" Just in a hero class. He doesn't even look like a hero. He's obviously a pervert. And this, makes Aizawa mad. Madder than he was in canon. "So, you have the energy to call me a pervert, do you? Well, how about we do something fun," he says in his tired voice. He then tells everyone to put on their hero uniform and meet them outside immediately. And they all do this without any question or statement. And just then, he tells them that he's going to take half the class and he's going to make them do, the quirk assessment. But he's going to take the other half, the ones who scored the highest, and he's going to make them do a mock battle, 1-on-1. If you pass, if you beat everyone, you technically are classified as the strongest, and you get to do what you want without say. You will be looked at as a representative of the three. Now, there is the big three, but there's also another three that I'm creating. It's three of the most strongest students from all three main classes. There's 1A, 1B, and 1C. Now, everyone's thinking that there's only two candidates here for the three. And that's that kid that they don't know what's his quirk for real. And then Bakugo, the explosion head, it looked like he had a quirk that matched explosions. Everyone's just thinking, wow, these two are an amazing match for each other, right? They want to see them two fight. So, Aizawa then tells Bakugo to go on the stage. Now, Bakugo wipes out the first couple people, but then Aizawa then smiles and says, "Izuku Midoriya, go to the stage." This sends shivers down Bakugo's spine. Now, Bakugo is just thinking, it's him. He beat me in the rankings, but he won't beat me now. We weren't head to head, so therefore this little piece of shit isn't worth my time. So, he says all of this out loud, and, Deku just thinks, wow, he's pretty arrogant, isn't he? Might as well shut him up while I have the chance. and he immediately gets his engines ready. Not his actual engines, but like his blood pumping. And Bakugo starts letting off explosions in his hand. And just then, Aizawa states, "Go." And with a blast from both parties, they're off. Deku throws a kick straight to Bakugo's face. Bakugo dodges this easily by, ducking to the ground with his explosions. He puts one arm up and then blasts to the ground to, avoid the kick. But just then, Deku immediately brings it down above Bakugo's head. And he lets off a fury of fire at the hill. And Deku was taking what looks like a boxing stance at Bakugo. And then he immediately starts throwing punches that shoots off mass amounts of fire that technically covers half of the whole ring. And Bakugo's trying his best to dodge it. He even starts maneuvering into the air. And just then, Deku starts to laugh and says, "Oh, you think you're going to escape me? Nah, that ain't happening." Deku does something weird with his hands, and then he puts it like he's blowing a bubble. He then begins to spit fire. Now this fire doesn't just technically, it's not an endless stream from his mouth. It's like a huge fireball. And with this, I'll say what Deku did was the actual hand signs for a fireball jutsu from Naruto. Now, the reason why he did this is because if the fire is attached to another piece of fire, then it can't separate. And if it originated from a piece of his body, it can't separate. But if he's able to cut it off at a certain point, then, he can make it into like a projectile. So, yeah. He then sees that Bakugo, managed to like survive it from blacking out. So, he then embraces himself for an attack by Bakugo. Bakugo starts blasting himself towards Deku. And Deku, chooses a level. He chooses level 4. And he cloaks himself with, fire armor. And just then, as Bakugo's right exactly from Deku, he puts his hand down, and then he says, "Blitzer Impact." I'll say Bakugo created this move early on to, try to beat Deku. I'm sorry if I changed stuff up from the first episode. I'm pretty sure I said the two of them were friends, but, yeah. So, they're just going all out. It's to the point where they are, bloody, battered, and brutal. There's some burns well, actually, no. Deku's not bloodied and battered. It's just his shirt's ripped. That's it. He has no noticeable marks. He's basically flame-proof. Explosions are made from flames, high-powered flames. Nothing Bakugo is doing is hurting Deku. And this just makes Bakugo madder and madder and madder, to where his explosions start to change. They go from red to almost reddish tainted. And Deku notices this, and he feels that with each explosion, it's getting harder to counter. It's like his explosions are becoming less stable. And Bakugo notices this too. And he feels like this Deku, he's pushing him to a new limit. And he prays that Deku keeps pushing. And this is when Deku gets serious. Deku then says, "You know what? I'm done joking. And he says, out of nowhere, level 13. That's where I'm gonna finish this off. Yeah, I'm sorry, cliffhanger, had to leave you with it. But if you liked the video, then please think about subscribing, hitting the like button, maybe, just a little bit. But yeah, join the Discord. If you need a new link, I'll send it to you, or I'll post it on my community. Either way, doesn't matter. But if you have any suggestions on a new what if I should do, because I might replace one of the what ifs I'm doing, you know. But it all depends on how things go in the future. But without further ado, thank you all for watching my video. Oh, and the person who did this picture, I actually want him to make stuff like this for me. So I'll keep you guys in contact with what he says. But without further ado, thank you for watching.